exclusive.
Mulatto.
Mulatto, that's right, Mulatto.
Mm.
You are tuning in to a Mulatto Vanguard exclusive. Chronological timeline of the mulatto designation in America. After the Declaration of Independence and before the Constitution, there was an act declaring what persons shall be deemed mulattoes. In the chapter, Roman numerals, I apologize, I'm not that well versed in the Roman numerals, passed October 1785, enforced January 1st, 1787. Mulatto became officially recognized with the federal government. This is the United States we're talking about here, guys. Okay? So it's amazing. I have so many, comments and receipts from other social media platforms where we have knuckleheads. I had a dude, I wouldn't say he's a knucklehead, he's just ill-informed. He's a Ghanaian man, which I love Ghanaian people. A lot of them follow me, not only on this channel, but my personal Facebook. But the gentleman was just disillusioned, or he was just, like I said, ill-informed. He basically was like, there's no such thing as mulatto. And I'm like, well, you're not here in America, And the dude lived in Belgium for a minute. So I don't know. I mean, there literally was, as you can see here, I mean, this is her draft, but this is all within the public domain. You can look this up and it's there. Mulatto became officially recognized within the federal government in the United States Census. It says right here, 1850, United States Census included mulatto. Guys, what are we in 2023? There is literally a track record and dates of our unique mulatto designation. So when you hear these people, a lot of times, obviously, it's monoracial people, black more specifically, who sit there and tell you there's no such thing as mulatto, no such thing as biracial. You don't have history, etc., etc. A lot of us have heard that. So of course, when you come to this channel here, you're going to be informed and you're going to realize, no, in fact, we do have a history and we're now reclaiming it back. It's ours. So 1850 United States Census included mulatto. Mulatto was recognized, a recognized racial classification, indeed. And this is the big date. This is the big one right here, which kind of put us in the predicament we are in currently right now, trying to find our way out. 1924 Racial Integrity Act, which it says here, dissuaded the mulatto classification. There's a whole lot. I talked briefly about it on this channel several months back. I'm gonna have to obviously talk more about it in the future. There's a lot going on, guys. One cat, your guys' efforts, your guys' help is greatly appreciated. Like I said, shout out to Flowers. She is a strong supporter, an advocate, and dedicated. And I'd like to have more of you guys on that same mission as well, being dedicated and just being an advocate for yourself. Not only for others, but for yourself. You're a mulatto identified person, biracial, mixed race, afropean, euroafric, whatever classification or, designation you wish to use. This is all part and parcel, okay? But the 1924 Racial Integrity Act, of course, is what people often refer to as the one-drop rule. Okay, the one-drop rule was established in this time frame with Walter Pleckard and in the state of Virginia, etc. I'll go into that in the more future details. Very critical date. Almost 100 years later, here we are in 2023. We're still trying to figure out what the hell we're doing. The 1924 Racial Integrity Act one-dropped mulatto people back into blackness. Okay. Dissuaded the mulatto classification. In the 1930 United States Census, they omitted the mulatto racial classification. Like I said, I've talked about this on this platform a lot. 1930s is when they removed the mulatto designation, and they replaced it with what? Replaced it with Mexican and Japanese and Chinese and Native Indian. So they have all these other classifications, but for you, the mulatto person who's been here in this country before the damn nation was even established, but they removed your classification and said you're just a black person. According to who? They said 1850 black mulatto, two distinct groups. Okay, black, mulatto, white, right? 1870 Indian, Chinese, black, mulatto, white. Okay, 1870. 1890, okay, this is post-Civil War here. Indian, Chinese, and including Japanese. And then they included other classifications within this umbrella. They have black, mulatto, quadroon, octoroon, white. 1920, Indian, Chinese, Japanese, black, Negro, which is the same as black, it's black in Spanish, mulatto, white, and then they have an other category. Now, 1924, you have the Racial Integrity Act, which was basically, spearheaded with a gentleman, well, I wouldn't call him a gentleman, but Walter Plecker, okay, who was very adamant about, neutralizing the mulatto group, right? So 1924, so then next, every 10 years, right, they have the census data collection in this country, America. So 1930, here it comes, 1930, Indian, right? Chinese, and they included Filipino, Hindu, Japanese, Korean. This is Pew Research, by the way, guys, this graph here. Negro, okay, so they even removed black, they just said Negro, black, and they removed mulatto. You guys see that? In 1930, they removed the whole mulatto designation. We've had it for 100 years prior. Okay, this is American history for you guys. Now it's just all Negro. So all the quadroon, octoroon, mulatto, all you're just in one box now. And the people in the community, they love it that way. So you can be a subordinate serving them. They can claim all your wins, and then they can outgroup you at their convenience, right? And then they also included the Mexican category, white, other. Continuing on, they removed the Mexican category, but and they still don't have the mulatto category. In 1950, 1930, United States Census omitted the mulatto racial classification. Look where we are today, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. A lot of us know what's going on. We just need the dedicated right people who are positive and have determination and drive and will to persevere and move forward with our plight. And shout out to Flowers. This was all chronologically developed by her, Flowers. Shout out to her. 1964 Civil Rights Act, right, provides injunctive relief against discrimination. Okay, 1967 Loving versus Virginia. It overturned the 1924 Racial Integrity Act, because in the 1924 Racial Integrity Act, which was, I can get into that later, but that was basically based off the whole miscegenation concept, right? And creating strict, they were very extreme at that time as well, 1924, 1920s with Walter Plecker, where they wanted to separate the different grave sites, right? You have black cemeteries, and then you have white cemeteries, etc., and mulatto cemeteries, believe it or not. We have communities in the, North and South Carolina area, mulatto communities, the Brown Society, literally Brown Society. These were mulatto organizations that had specifically cemeteries in clubs for mulatto people, right? I talked about that on this platform. This is what we do. We talk about mulatto history, guys. Okay, if you want drama and the hood booger, hood rat stuff, go over with the knuckleheads. Over here, you're going to be informed and educated. So, 1967, Loving versus Virginia overturned the 1924 Racial Integrity Act. However, has yet to reinstate mulatto to the census, United States Census, right? Loving in Virginia. So those children of the Loving and Loving and the other lady in Virginia, they're just gonna say, well, you're just black, you got a white daddy, black mama, you're just black. Okay, yeah, if you say so, but I don't think so. Census 2000 continued a two or more category, which is the most broad and ambiguous thing I've ever seen in my life. Basically with the whole other kind of designation, which is on purpose, right? Two or more races, which they have now, okay, in the federal level, not the state level, not across all the states, but the federal level, they have that. It can mean two or more of anything, so that doesn't include us. It's, like I said, they do that on purpose. So here we go, moving on. It says January 10, 2001, House Joint Resolution number 607, expressing the General Assembly's apology for Virginia's experience with eugenics, and specifically mentioning the 1924 Racial Integrity Act, right? And moving on, it says Public Law 114 through 157, May, a lot of numbers here. modernization of terms relating to minorities. Hasn't any mention of mulatto. That's the key. Remove the whole entire racial classification. Desegregation mulatto identity flowers. She developed this. These are her notes. November 25th. This was last year, 2022. The critical thing is that this is her kind of calling to segregate mulatto's identity, right? There's no mention of mulatto and all this, apology. The Virginia Assembly, they're having an apology, for the Racial Integrity Act in 1924. That was what year? 2001, 20 years ago, 22 years ago. Nothing about reinstating mulatto identity, mulatto designation, nothing. Which the whole purpose, the whole point of the 1924 Racial Integrity Act was to get rid of the mulatto designation, neutralize them, throw them in the communita to serve because they're becoming a competitive group. Their numbers are growing. They're acquiring more wealth. They're building schools. They're building organizations, institutions. We don't want them to be competitive and comparable with that of the higher society. They have too much access to us. So we have to cut them off, throw them in with the underclass. And that's, look at where we're at today. Amazing, amazing. Shout out to you, Flowers. Got Sharp in the house, says it's all about economics, and this was probably planned to destabilize us from the beginning as an influential force. Of course, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt.